Blender 4.5 is right around the corner with it being released on the 15th of July. It's a huge update for Blender, bringing new features across the board. Let's go over what I think are some of the most interesting features coming. In the viewport, a major backend overhaul has been implemented, with Vulkan being added as an alternative to OpenGL in your preferences. Vulkan is a shading language more optimized for efficiency on modern hardware, basically giving you a bunch of free performance improvements in the viewport when it comes to handling large scenes or getting smoother animation playback. Onto shaders, a new type of volumetric shading node has been added that allows you to choose between various types of scattering algorithms and input physically accurate data into the coefficients for higher levels of accuracy and realism. But I've personally found just playing around with these values and changing the algorithm around gives some pretty interesting results when it comes to lighting. Speaking of lighting changes, some new light controls have been added, such as exposure to multiply the light intensity, useful if you're working at very large or very small scales. Color temperature is now built into the lights and easily accessible, and normalization of intensity has also been added for point and area lights, so as you increase the size of the light, the intensity stays the same. There are a ton of new geometry nodes features, so let's go over some of the biggest ones. Custom normal editing directly in GeoNodes has been added, allowing for lots of customizability in how your meshes are shaded. Some examples of how this could be used include stylized grass or blending meshes using these nodes. We can now also import various types of data directly into GeoNodes. For example, CSV, text, object, and VDB files can now be read in procedurally into your scenes, meaning if you overwrite the source file, it will auto-update in Blender. We can now also use this to procedurally import a sequence of OBJ files as animation using the new format string node. A camera info node has also been added that allows us to finally have accurate camera culling irrespective of what camera settings are changed, and with no additional input from the user, as we get a projection matrix from the camera accessible in GeoNodes. Field averages, min and max, and variance nodes have been added as an alternative to the attribute statistic in most cases, and is a great quality of life change. There are also a ton more smaller nodes added, such as various string operators and more math nodes, which are useful across the board. In the compositor, there has been an attempt to unify the nodes with what you're used to in the shader and geometry nodes, as often these nodes have been a bit different for no real reason. So we now have noise textures added and vector math operations, just like in the shader or geonodes. There are also new custom compositor only nodes, such as image info or texture coordinates specific to the 2D grid. Other smaller features that have been added include a filter width on the bump node to improve edges and create beveled effects, fluid sims getting 20 to 50% performance increases, USD support for animated cameras, and not to mention there are a ton more performance and bug improvements made across the board. I'll link to the full list in the description. It's quite a big release, so hopefully you're as excited about it as I am, and I look forward to seeing what can be done with these new features and seeing how they can be used in creative ways. But other than that, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.